Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Marijuana Markets Update. I am Matt Battiali, your host. Hope you guys are having a great week. Hey, if you're new to the podcast, you haven't seen us before, don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom of the screen. I've got a couple things to cover today. The first thing I want to start with is Canopy Growth is going to live webcast its quarter and annual results on May 29th. I'll have a link for you in the notes below, but if you're a cannabis investor, if you're serious about making money in this sector, this is the sort of thing that you need to pay attention to. Canopy is one of the best companies in the business. We're going to get direct from the horse's mouth. The CEO is going to tell us what's going on in the industry, what keys they're looking at that are going to drive their business. This is a really important bit of information. You can wait until next week and get a summary from me here, but I really suggest that if you're serious in this in investing in this sector, you start paying attention to these sorts of things. With that, I'm going to tell you why. Green Growth Brands was in January of 2019. They actually made a bid to buy Afria. It was $2.5 billion hostile takeover bid. At the time, Green Growth Brands was, I think, a $500 million Canadian market cap. They traded on the Toronto. It was a $6 stock at the time. They just filed for bankruptcy. So $500 million to zero. So if you guys, held shares in that one, the money went to heaven. This is one of the risks in this sector. I often say on here, you've got to do your homework. You can't, gut feeling, hope. They're not good strategies when you're in a sector as risky and as roiled as this one is. We're still looking at legislation issues. That's my next topic. So in the U.S., because it's not federally legalized, most of the dispensaries still have to operate on cash. So if you go in, it's a cash deal. The dispensary literally has to drive around with bags of cash to whatever bank will take them. And it's usually not a federally insured bank. It's usually a credit union, and they have to deal all cash. It's not a good system, especially when you consider that in 2019, there were $12.4 billion spent on cannabis in the United States, and that we're expecting that to go up to over $16 billion this year. So the hope is, and I use that word lightly here, but the plan is that there will be a new version of what's called the Safe Banking Act introduced in the next round of stimulus in the federal legislation, which would open all banks to allow cannabis money in. It would let cannabis companies use electronic transfers, credit cards, that sort of thing, and move away from this all cash deal. There was a time in Pennsylvania where there was a single bank for all of the dispensaries in the state. That's insane, and it's just it's poor planning. It doesn't work on an industry this scale. This has to change. When 9 out of 10 Americans are in favor of either recreational or medical use cannabis, this is an outrage, and it has to change. So hopefully we'll see that pass the legislation. The problem is the stimulus bill currently has been called dead in the water. I think they're going to negotiate their way out of it. There's just no way that we can have this many Americans out of work and not need another stimulus. So when it comes, there should be language in there that will kind of free up cannabis companies to use traditional banking methods, which would be a huge boost for everybody. So I'm really looking forward to that. And in summary, so May 29th, I really think you guys should check out that webcast. It's going to be really important. I'm really looking forward to what the CEO has to say. I want to get the management discussion and analysis on the market and what the headwinds are and what the tailwinds are. And they may have some observations about the Safe Banking Act. You must be careful in this space. As I said, $500 million company, January 2019, just declared bankruptcy. these are dangerous waters, and if you're not careful, you can lose an awful lot of money. So with that, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Matt Battiali. This is the Marijuana Markets Update. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Have a great week, you guys. Bye-bye.